What's up, Benoit?
Hey Facundo, how's it going?
Much. Um, okay, so over the weekend you shared and launched your feedback widget, and I thought that would be great to go over for today.
Yeah. Do you want to share the link of the stream in some places before we really get into it?
Yeah, it should be already going live. We can double
It
check.
says uploading at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, but this might just be like to be
The
live. Yeah, if you can share the link like last time, I can share it on LinkedIn and Twitter.
sure. Let me see. Um, hmm. Share link, copy link. This will allow people to join us for the recording session.
Oh,
Um, I don't know that that's what we want, but I'll send it to you.
no, I think it's not what we want.
Where's the? I don't have a share link for like the. I have to find it on the source. Or let me see. Um, I see. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. Yeah. If you. So I'm gonna put it right here for you. That's X
Okay.
and YouTube. Oh man. Okay. All right. There you go. All right. I don't know if you care, but we can see all of your projects on the left.
Oh, I think that's fine.
Okay.
A lot of them are untitled, so.
All right.
um,
Cool.
I'm just showing that. Oh, the the preview is your face, like but really zoomed in.
Oh, great.
I remove. Okay, let's just get going. Yeah, so the widget. Um, Basically, I woke up to an email from a client saying I made um, I made some prototypes on ChatGPT. Go check the prototypes. We will talk about it and everything. And I was a bit like, I will have again to open something, check what it's about, and then once I understand what it's about, go to my app, make the changes, and it's going to take a while to switch. And for the sake of efficiency, the idea that I had was, can I get the feedback right where it belongs and where I can understand it, like in the right context from the beginning, and then have a way that it's going to be really easy for me to just make the changes if I need to. And I had already heard about like tools like Jam.dev. I think there are like Marker.io and things like that.
Yep.
But when I checked, I think it was like one plan per project. And since I have a bunch of projects and I would want to use that everywhere if I can, I was like, okay, I'm just going to try and make something. We'll see what happens. And basically, yeah, I worked on that on Thursday, and I got something working. I think I can share it on an app. Um, Maybe I can pick this one. Um, And it's probably going to be like this demo effect where you try to show something and then it doesn't work, but
Yeah, no
let's
worries.
try it anyway. And so this is just like a landing page. I talked with a friend and he was like, "Oh, it will be great if we can have like something to plan vacations." And I just made this page, and this is the widget here at the bottom. I don't know if you can properly see it.
Could you expand just expand the window at all?
Oh yeah, like this.
Perfect.
Oh, I guess I can maybe.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Is it?
That's
That's
actually worse. That's
yeah.
worse.
Okay. So I'll keep it as it was. And so basically, you have the widget here, and as you can see here, there is like one comment. Oh, but I think like on this one, it's not properly taking the CSS, or there is some kind of a shadow. I mean, you can see it's available, but
Yeah.
it's transparent. But basically, the idea is that you have this toggle here that allows you to show the comments on the page if there are comments. And if there is something you want to say, to change, like for example, I don't know, I don't want to have the caps on waitlist. You can just create the annotation. And I think it takes a minute, but basically it's going to add this other comment here. I mean, it should at least. Yeah, so now it's here. And if you click on it, you can see like remove caps on waitlist that is available here. And so I've also added like this kind of menu that show where everything is. And basically when you click on one of them, it's supposed to go to the page and then open the actual issue. I think there is a glitch where it's not taking it exactly, but the scrolling is working. So yeah, it's the script. Maybe I can get in how it works a bit. Or I don't know if you have questions. Am I talking alone or? Oh, I can't hear you, Facundo.
So sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
No, I'd love to see, yeah, like your backend for this, like your
Yeah.
file, like how you coded it. You know how AI
So
was helpful and how many.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically the way it works, like there's a script here, and you can see that um, it is specifying a source. So this is where my app lives. It's on a railway somewhere, and there is a key. The key is created when I do like basically I create a new widget, and the combination of the GitHub path token and okay, so I guess it's not clear. I'll just try to show
Yeah.
it like
And
this.
could you expand that one more time because it's so
Yeah,
small? There you go. Thanks.
yeah. So so yeah, I'm kind of reworking the landing, but basically there is this screen here where you can create new tokens, and it's taking like the owner name, the repo name, and the path token. So I create a specific token that grants the permission to create issues in GitHub. And then every comment that you see on the page,
I'm sorry. On the share, it just goes so small automatically by accident. Maybe.
oh, is it when I click some? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's when.
Cool. Cool.
And so yeah, this information allows me to create the widget, and it creates a key. And maybe to make it simpler. So if I were to kind of draw it, it's like so this is my app on Railway, and basically on the app there is like a bundled widget. So and what happened is that on this side, so it was like a vacation planner. What it does is that the script is just pointing to the app on Railway. So it's like the script goes here, and then the bundle widget is like a page or like a file on the server, and with the key it knows like which widget to kind of present on this side here.
Yep. How do you get the feedback to GitHub?
How do I get it to GitHub?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when I do this, let me show maybe one GitHub project. So if you go into GitHub and you go into settings, developer settings, you can see like the some of the path token here, and you can create a new token. Let me pick my phone. Taking a sec. Okay. And so when you're here, you can create a new token, and basically you would pick like the repo that you want. I don't know, it could be this one. And here I do add permission, and I would create issues. And so these are like GitHub issues, and I need to be able to write them. So this is what allows me to create the issues in GitHub. And it's like and this was maybe not clear, but yeah, this is where you can create the path token. And now I gave this permission that allows to read and write issues. And yeah, when I create the widget, I save the path token and all of the info, so that when the widget is embedded on your website, it knows which GitHub repository it can write issues into, and where it reads them from.
Cool. That's super cool.
Yeah, because in the beginning I just started working on a web page and created the widget there, but then I was like, how do I make it reusable in other places? And the problem that I had is that in the beginning I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a GitHub repo and I'm going to copy the code from there into my app. And then I tried to do it, but I would run into a lot of issues. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to make it a script. And I want it to be secure, because if there was not this kind of key in the middle, the GitHub path token would be exposed directly in the script, and you could see it by inspecting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really wanted to avoid that. So that's the route that I took. I guess I could show a bit of the project itself, but I don't know how helpful that would be. I'm just going to try that.
What did you use to build it?
So yeah, I built it in Cursor, and it's a Next.js that is kind of bundled together. It's been kind of a lot of back and forth to make it work, and so the thing is, like, this project here, it's both like the if I do that. Right now it's both the kind of the landing page of the app and also the widgets. So I guess it's a bit weird in a way. to make that bigger. So, but yeah, I try to use what I use everywhere, which is like a Supabase instance with Drizzle, and so in the beginning this was kind of directly embedded, but here what you see is another script that is embedded on this page, which I'm not sure is the best way to do it in the long run, but yeah, I think this is like the thing that is being bundled here, like the web feedback here, where all of the components that are part of it are here. And I think there is a command that is something like pnpm bundle or something like that, and basically it creates the package.json for the widget and makes everything available in here. So when the other apps are pointing to the server is kind of delivering this for them to display.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like last year or like 6 months ago, I built also like a feedback widget, and
Okay.
we should go over after our meeting, because that's it's funny how you can have like different different ways of doing something. I don't really remember how it's implemented. However, I really feel like the feedback widget. I mean, I don't know what you're like what you're gonna do with it, but it should be. I think it needs to be open source at this point. Like, it feels like it's a need that every app has. Like, and it's technically not crazy hard. You know, like especially with AI, it's like I feel like it's one of those things where everybody needs it, and if they want to, they can just build it into a thing. It'd be great if we had like an open source one that was just free and that everybody used, and that was just the best, you know, and everybody could just like. So then we didn't have to have this issue, because I'm always looking for the right one and the right pricing, and the pricing always seems way out of line. Like I don't see how it costs like $40 to have a feedback widget. I just don't see that,
Yeah.
you know.
It's expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the thing is, like, with these widgets there's so much things you could do with it, like, because right now it's integrated to GitHub, but some people, they want ClickUp, they want Trello, they want, I don't know, Slack integrations and all of these things. So it's like, where do you stop? And also, I think there are other ways you could want to use something like this. Like, maybe if you're a client, you could like go to your, or maybe it's not a widget, or it's a Chrome extension or something, but you could go to the website and capture some part of it and say, I want to change this, that, and then generate a proposal to send to someone.
Yeah.
So I think there are a lot of ways to go about it.
That's true. Yeah. It also reminds me of one more thing. Have you heard of the React Grab library? It kind of just came out. I'll share it real quick. React Grab. This is the same thing that Curse. Let me share it real quick. Screen. React Grab. The same thing that Cursor lets you do when you like hover over an element in their browser. And let me see, does it work for me? Yeah. And then it'll give you like, this is sort of what you're doing in your widget, but this gives you the context. So when you copy this, let's see. And then if we go back to, let me share.
Does it get like all of the selectors
It
from it?
should. I haven't actually tested this out just yet. Let me go to the. Let me share the Scala draw now. Where is it? Streaming. And paste it. Yep. Uh,
Oh,
I have a little bit of feedback overlap here, but
yeah, but it's not getting the. I don't know how you could exploit that. Interesting. Like the code location, I don't know if you need it, but yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. It's good to get the context.
well, I guess arguing that like, yeah, I mean, it could be helpful. Like, if the AI has to search your app for like, uh, div, the right div, it could be hard. But if it knows like where it is in the stack, then it doesn't need to go searching your whole repository for it. It can just go, okay, right to this folder, and I'll make the changes. Like it'll do like your code reviewer could just like instantly
I can,
fix that.
uh, I guess I can show like the what is saved in the GitHub issue because this was probably not obvious. Where was
Okay.
it? Uh, I don't know if you will see if I share from here. Can you see it here or not? Or should I
Uh,
share again?
Let me see. Uh, yeah, I don't see your screen in mine.
Okay, I'll share it from the Riverside then.
Yeah.
Um, share screen. Okay, and now share. Okay. So when an issue is created, and I guess I need to make it bigger. So yeah, when an issue is created, what it does is this is like it's going to say if this is at the root or not, and then it shows like
Oh, cool.
the element selectors. So this I am storing in the database so that I can know where to put the comments.
Yeah.
And I think this is what you were saying with like
Yeah.
the React graph.
Yeah.
I am not sure what it's using to do it, but it seems to work. So
Yep. That makes sense. That looks right to me.
yeah. Uh, React graph. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And before we leave the widget, in your announcement for the widget, you had this super cool uh, thumbnail. And you
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
can you show me how you made that thumbnail? I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Let me maybe. Yeah, I guess I can share this. So I've used like. I guess it's more like two things, or or three things. So if I do this, can you? Yeah, okay, this works. So it's here. Actually, it did not really behave how I expected it to. It created me something that can be used to generate thumbnails when what I wanted was more like just the thumbnail. So there's like
Okay.
this prompt here,
Yeah.
and basically what I did is that I used, I don't know if you've tried this, it's called Pretty Prompt.
No.
It's a Google Chrome extension, and basically I'm not paying for it yet, but I think I will eventually pay for it. Where you enter a prompt and then you do improve prompt, it gets you a better prompt, and this is what I got as a prompt, basically like I might have remixed it, but then what was kind of interesting is that here I could switch the theme, add the logo, and kind of make some
Wow.
changes directly here. Um, and I think the download was not working, so I just took a screenshot in the end. But the thumbnail was, I guess, kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done a few other things with Google AI Studio. I think like where is it exactly? Um, I'm actually I wanted to show like not the build part because there is also like oh yeah like I made like this birthday card for my brother where we bought him like a he wanted like Japanese knives and so yeah I I used like a picture and then I got like the first version but there were like some typos and then I ended up with this one which I think is kind of cool.
Wow. That's very cool. So he's
Um,
gonna get those knives in the mail, right? But you're giving him the card, right?
yeah, just so no, I just got him a card and he has like a coupon to purchase.
Ah, okay, got it. Yeah, right.
In the end, he just bought like one, but it's a really big one, and it's kind of yeah, don't want um, to get cut by this one for sure. So this was playground. Yeah, so I guess you have playground build, and in build I also played a bit and made like something to create invoices
Cool.
where you just type your stuff on the left and on the right you get the invoice.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think I mean
that's so
yeah,
cool.
it's really cool like the AI studio and you just have to get an API key
Yeah.
because when you play with it at some point it's going to tell you to stop. But yeah, I haven't tried everything. I've tried the Nano Banana, but I think there is a lot of things that you can use it for.
Yeah.
And I
It,
guess it makes sense to store data in Google if you want to be able to use it. I've heard about like a Gemini search. I think it's here. Yeah, like basically search your whole Google account to do stuff with it. I
mhm.
think yeah, can probably be useful.
It looks like it's useful in the sense that you get like this. It's like this already hosted app for like just I just want an invoice generator. It could be a one-time thing, like, and it's there. You don't have to like if you did that on Cursor, you have to like think about where you're gonna put it. It could take more time. So that seems cool.
Yeah, and I've used it also to generate some landing pages where you. I also use Predict Prompt where I say I want to do a landing about this, and maybe tell about the sections that are in here, and then get a result, um, save it to GitHub, and then use it in Cursor to put it on my server.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I should have been doing this while you were talking.
Do you want to move to like Cursor for phone?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So, um, I, I'm like, I'm in the like, yeah. I mean, this is not a problem because before Cursor, I couldn't code, right? Or I mean, I knew how, but I wasn't good, obviously, and I don't want to act like this is a problem that needs to be solved. But now that I'm so used to building with Cursor, at this point, I'm not coding at all. I am just prompting. That's pretty much all I'm doing. Um, and I'm prompting and copy and pasting the troubles, the errors that come up, and so I mean that part needs to be kind of solved, but it feels like it's not that far away where this is more automated, more streamlined, and less managing of the IDE.
Yeah.
If A lot of it feels like the bottleneck is my own. So we talked about it last time using. Let me share.
I do, yeah. I mean, I do copy pasting as well. Like also a lot of screenshots.
Yeah, screenshots. Yeah, and the screenshots in Cursor are great because you can have like the
You have the preview.
yeah, the preview, and you just hit a button, and it automatically copies pastes it to your thing. Also, like the the agent is pretty good at using the native like preview browser, Cursor browser. Oh, let's
Hmm.
get bigger. But last time we talked about Backlog MD, and I haven't used it yet, but it's gonna help you with your plans. And so, I I really like, I've been using Cursor's plan method, but that hasn't worked too well. So I've been using, it's like it misses things. It's not comprehensive enough. And then if I end up telling like, hey, get more detailed, and it adds like it basically adds all the code for everything. I'm like, okay, that's too much.
Okay.
So it doesn't have enough. It's good for planning. If you want to do plan mode in Cursor, I think it's good for like something very small that like if you just give it a plan, it'll execute it well. Maybe it's like a
Okay.
single feature. But if you wanted to like if this is a complex feature where you need like a really big implementation plan, plan mode is just gonna miss things. It's gonna be too vague. And specifically because some tasks in a plan can take up your full context window. So maybe like the first part of the plan takes up, the amount of work it requires to complete it takes up like 200,000 tokens, and for unless you have that could be a lot already for like most windows. So if you at that point had to go to phase two, it's gonna like compact to that and then start phase two,
Yeah.
and you're always gonna have less and less. So the best way for me to do it is to like do phase one in one chat, then do phase two in another chat,
Yeah.
then do phase three in another chat. Again, that's a pain in my butt. I don't like doing that that work. Um, that should be automated. I don't see why. But so that's something I want to fix too. But anyway, um, so those are the kinds of things I still do, but the rest of it is just prompting. That's the point I was trying to say. And so what I did was I was like, I can prompt from my phone. Like there's no reason for me to be chatting to. I hate that if I'm gonna just be prompting with it, I hate to just be sitting in front of my computer when I could just be moving around my house or going shopping, and I could just prompt and that. So let me pull up what I built. If I should just work now actually. If I go to o dot, oh man, oh yeah, it's password protected. So Kundo.co, yeah. Um, right, there it is. So this
Okay.
is my orchestrator,
Nice.
and let me make it bigger. Yeah. So these are basically I can create a new task, and like down here I have like my two repos that I've added. These are local repos, not GitHub repos. Local. This is on my
Okay.
computer. Um, and this is the branch. I haven't set up branching yet. And this is the different CLIs I can use. So far, I just have Codex, but I can use Cursor as well. And then this determines if I have like a preview link or not. And
Okay.
so I can tell, let's say on this watch link one, I can say, just describe the app, you know, and send it off. And so that task is queued. So this is going to use the Codex CLI in headless mode,
Okay.
very much like a background agent and cursor. It's like a one-time thing. It's not a conversation yet. I want to make it there, but so we click on
Okay.
this guy, and we can see here. It's it opened up the Codex CLI.
It looks like it checked all of the MCPs.
Oh yes, it makes sure to see if I have what
Context
FTPs.
learn.
I recently set
Okay.
those up. Yep. Um,
And now
thinking,
it's checking the whole app. Okay.
finding the files, checking app description files,
And
features.
so you're saying like the agent is running locally?
Yeah. So this is loading a tunnel that I have on my computer running. So as long as my computer is plugged in, or like the screen is open, or if the screen is closed and plugged in, as long as it's not running on battery essentially and closed, then my server is running tunnel to the internet. I'm tunneling my.
And so you're saying you go on your phone and use this.
Yeah, you can. Well, I can use it from anywhere really, any other computer or my phone.
Okay.
And so now I can like I'm basically using the CLI from my phone. That's basically what I'm doing. Um, Now, yeah, so you can see here. Let's scroll down and see what it got to. There it is. The last one. WatchLink is a platform where users upload videos. Perfect. And yeah, so that's like my V1 so far. I'd
Okay.
like it to. There's more things that are like one of the things that is key to being able to test it is like being able to preview it. Um, so if I go to the details, this won't work, but I create
Oh, you have a
a
link to it.
a preview link where I want that way I can see the build. That's
Mm.
still not working. I gotta figure that out. And yeah, let's go back. And then I'm working on like so. Right here I have like a terminal, so I can just like if I wanted to, I could just run like code. I can just interact with the terminal on my computer from my phone, from my thing, and here I can just instead of having to do
But so does it like create branches or something?
great
Or
question. So I'm using the work trees. This is the same way like when you ask Cursor to do multiple agents at a time, it'll create a work tree for each branch for each agent, and so every time I create a task, it has its own work tree, and you can see those here. Loading work trees. So down here, I have these.
work tree. Okay, so each task is a work tree. Can you like in Cursor like manually create work trees?
Not through Cursor's like AI. You can create a work tree using a Git command. Like I forget what it is, but it's a Git. It's part of Git, so you can create
Okay.
use a command and then it'll do it. But that word tree won't be connected to Cursor's. I mean, Cursor's like agent thing. Agent Cursor will only create word trees when you use multiple agents on a prompt.
So so you mean like if I do a bunch of different agents, each of them is a different work tree?
Yep.
But so I guess this is what I have trouble with is like each of them are in a different work tree. What's the code that displays in my editor? Which one is the correct one? Like,
That one is a little bit confusing. The UX for that could be a little bit better. Um, like when you are using the agent UI, the Cursor UI, and then you click on like a generated file from one of the agents in the work tree,
yeah,
it'll show it in your window next to files that are on the other work
other
trees.
work trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to look at the path. If you're not showing the path at the top of then you don't know. You'll see like there's a little like code for the work tree, Beyond that, yeah, it's so it would be cool if it was kind of like siloed or like if you like a separation between that instead of having them like in the same
Yeah,
place.
because I guess you could look at the same file twice, but it's not the same one.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, so like that's what I mean by the UX is kind of weird. Like it's good to I use it often when I'm like when I want ideas or I want inspiration or I'm not sure like this model's gonna do a good job or I want it to be really good. So I'll say, Google you go and then Anthropic you go and then I'll say like I'll copy Google's response and paste it into the Anthropic one underneath and say, hey, another agent said this. How do you think it compares to yours? and then it's like, oh yeah, well that was pretty good. You know, we're pretty
Okay.
similar, but we're missing this, and then I'll just like stick to that, to the Anthropic one, and then you hit apply, and then it applies all the changes locally. So like,
So it's
yeah, I
more
don't
like
want to work in a work tree essentially. I don't want to do that.
okay, interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's I want to do the same thing on my phone. I don't want to do that here. And this kind of I thought it was gonna be much more simple, but it became much more complicated. Then, of course, we just started building. So, but again, I'm still amazed at all the things I can do with AI because it's just I'm just this took a couple of days, and I was like, okay, I want to do this for my phone, and if you give it enough stuff, like what you want, it's like, well, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Okay, great, do it. So, um,
And
yeah.
so does it, so right now, what does it do? Like, are you using it to make changes or?
So in this scenario, I just had to describe the app. Let's see here. If I went to, if I went to, I guess like I can make it make changes. Like I could say in the prompt, I don't know what I want to change. Though I have something to change. I could say like change the font to something else or whatever. Change the
But
colors.
so just to understand here, this is a terminal that is like kind of open directly in the local folder of your app. But
Yep.
if you want to make changes, then you have to get into some kind of a CLI, right? Because right now you're just in the terminal.
Well, the CLI lives in the terminal. So from the terminal, I could run just git merge. So I could merge this work tree into main. So we are in a work tree, and I could say like, okay, merge this into
Oh, but
master branch of whatever.
so I guess this is what I didn't understand. When you create the task and you give like direction, it can make changes to the app at this point. Okay.
Yeah, because it's in its own work tree. It
Okay,
won't
but
affect anything. Yeah.
and you were saying right now it's more like of a one-time thing. So every time you need a different thing, you need to create a new task, right?
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do.
Okay.
Like I started off one way and I thought, okay, this doesn't really work. Also, there's like some issues with, okay, like having my computer open, having that in my head as a thing that I need to like make sure it's plugged in, or having the screen up, like it kind of is not ideal for what I
Well,
envisioned.
what's your take on like creating like GitHub issues and having an agent like work on them directly in the GitHub comments?
So the issue with that is that I have to. Um, it's that the biggest issue is actually the MCP. I don't have the MCPs that I have running.
Okay.
So that's my biggest issue with the cursor background workers, because you can actually talk again. You can continue the conversation with them,
Yeah.
but they don't have access to the MCPs. And so what I was like ultimately like, when I talk to someone remotely from my phone, I mean agent, it should have access to the same MCPs that I have on my computer, and it should be able to test it. I say, hey, open up the browser.
Mm.
Does it work? Are there any console logs? Because that's the only thing that's holding me up from being like forcing me to have to use the computer, and it doesn't need me to do that. Like it already can do that on its own in Cursor. So like we should be able to do that from our phone when it's like, hey, open it up, use MCPs, because I'm using, I mean, the Context 7 and the browser, but there's also one that I have. It's like a global memory, so it's like
Okay.
across projects, across things. It's a memory that's in the cloud that's stored per project, but it would be like something that I want to be used forever. So whenever like a GitHub issue happens, and it's like, oh, that was a good learning. We should always remember to do that. That you can't do that in a GitHub issue. It's that remembering that learning is not going to get
Oh,
preserved in your project. So that's the sort of thing where I'm like, we don't want that separation. We've using it because it's easy. I guess like for personal people. I don't know, like if you have like a team, Were you using GitHub then? Because that's different. That's like completely different. But we wouldn't. I think someone needs to come up with a way to not lose those conversations in GitHub. Like that's, I mean, they're there. They're not necessarily lost, but there's information there, knowledge, like experience. Like, oh, let's not do that again. So,
If
yeah,
you have like you said you have a global memory.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know, maybe there's a way with GitHub Actions or things like that to add the comments content to it, or
I don't know.
if
Maybe.
if this is the missing piece for you, maybe I don't know, maybe it can be done because I think um, it's good when you can look at the issues and you can see the comments and what happened, like in a sequence.
Yeah.
Then it's easy to understand. Like if you give the issue to an agent, it will have all of the context of what happens before, and then it can answer like with that in mind.
Yes, I hear you. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Um,
Yeah, this has been interesting. Just in like from a coding perspective, but also just like a UX perspective. I thought I was going to solve an issue, and I was like, oh, this doesn't really solve my problem. And I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah. Um,
yeah, I had heard when I checked Reddit, I saw some people there were also running like things on their phone. I think it was Cloud Code with I think it's called Tmux or something like
yeah.
that, where you can run terminals and they would do it from there. But yeah, I guess this is probably happening sooner or later, where Cursor has a mobile app, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think right now with Cloud Desktop, you have the code mode. So I haven't tried the mobile app, but maybe you can already do that.
Oh, yeah. They have a mobile app for Claude.
So, but they have a mobile app, but it's for, I mean, like the ChatGPT one, but
Oh.
it's just that now in the desktop, I mean, in the web app, you can switch between code and just, I guess, live stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know if they've added that to the mobile as well, but
I
it's
see.
probably going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of the issue with coding things nowadays. Like, who's gonna come up with, you know,
Yeah, I guess
tomorrow the thing that you're building today? It's really annoying.
I guess it's a good problem to have, like to have so many good options, but at the same time you're like, which one should I go for, or am I using the best right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like to me, like it's not that they're all the same, but it's like they are all good enough for you to do the job. So I'm not like I have to pay for the best and I only
Yeah.
want the best. I'm like, okay, it works. I can do something with it.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I mean, like I I am I definitely running through a lot of tokens the way and I've mentioned that before, and it's it's okay, but I'm getting to a point where now that I see like those open source models are getting better, and I'm like, okay, my mind is like, okay, maybe I should be like thinking about, okay, this using different agents for different stuff instead of just blanket, opus and everything. Um,
Yeah, I mean, for the past 2 weeks, I was just with Cursor and I'm using auto mode. I think it's the composer one,
mhm.
and it's working pretty well for me. Like I think like it's even a bit too fast for me to have the time to think about stuff. You don't have this time where I kind of enjoyed it in the beginning with Cloud Code, where I would do something and then come back 2 minutes later. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it is too fast. I don't know what that means for us. Like, it really, to me, it really feels like we're the bottleneck. The humans are the bottleneck in this development
Yeah,
process.
in a way, but at the same time, like the tool should be made for us. And so if we're making tools that are just too fast for us, then I don't know, like you I think it's a bit like for like in life when there's something that you need to do or something that needs to happen, you need to put constraints. And when there are no constraints, you create them. So maybe we should create some kind of constraint or friction so that
Yeah.
it's more suitable for us to use. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm just imagining this now. Like, one thing that would be great is like right now it you. I mean, I'm sure you could prompt it to do this, but in general, when you're vibe coding, it's like, hey, do this thing. Here's the plan. Do it, and it executes it, and it's like, here, it's done. And that's it. Not often, but like maybe in the plan mode, but does it like say like maybe it'll suggest, hey, should I do this? Like, hey, the next step is this. Would you want me to do it? But I feel like it shouldn't just be like the next step. It shouldn't be like, okay, boom, okay, yes, okay, okay. It should be like, all right, I see where you're going with this. Now, it looks like you want to develop this whole thing. Like, okay, we probably want to. It should be asking me questions rather than like, should I just do this thing? It should be like, okay, I need to. Here's all these questions that I need to know, and if I knew these questions, I could start. I could build. I can keep going without you. Like that sort of thing.
I think yeah, I think it's starting to do it like for me like I think it was last week or yesterday when I was kind of using plan mode. It asked me
Yeah.
question and asked me answer what A, B or C.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good like that you get to do that.
Yeah.
I had seen it with Cloud Code where I think they were able to edit or give like a specific answer um, directly in the questions. Because
That's
I think
cool.
right now you can update the plan in Cursor, but it feels a bit weird to update the plan yourself. I don't know. Like there is some kind. It probably shouldn't, but yeah, it feels a bit weird. But I think we're getting there to a point where it's more conversational,
Yeah.
and it's going to ask you the question even if you don't ask or you're not looking for them.
Right.
And this is what a good developer should be doing, right? When a developer talks to a PM, like, and the PM says, I want this, and the developer will be like, oh, but this means this, and this means that. What is it that we should be doing? I am not the one to make the call.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Right. That's exactly it. And yeah, you're right. It kind of does that sometimes for like obvious stuff, but it should be doing it all the time. It should be like, what's the ultimate goal? You know what I mean? Like right now, it's so short-sighted, and so yeah, we need it to be like more long-term. I just think that could be a good way for us to be like to not have to be babysitting it. But
yes,
even then, it's gonna get so fast that it's gonna be kind of weird, you know.
yeah, and I think it asks questions like ethical one where it's like if you can build anything super fast, like where is the value of an app, like because it's for sure not going to be the tech, and maybe tech was never the value in the first place, but the everything that is around, like the people using it, like the branding,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna have this for a little bit, not forever, but for a little bit, we're gonna have like, the handcrafted apps people, like
Mm.
this app was handcrafted.
But I mean, it should be right. It happened for the, I mean, physical stuff, right? Where it says handmade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. So yeah, we're entering the IKEA era of code. Before it was like, bespoke furniture. It wasn't handmade, but it was like you had to go to the furniture builder, but now it's IKEA. Anybody can build furniture, essentially, but it's gonna look the same. It's gonna
I don't know
act the
if
same.
it's like IKEA, right?
I
In
don't
the
know.
sense that IKEA would be building blocks, but right now it's like you can just order anything, get it instantaneously, and then put it together. It's like you have both the delivery and you have the people that can build it
Yeah,
at the same time.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be weird. All right, I think we should get out of the app development.
Like find another job? Is that your
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. I don't know. I think we gotta make a lot of money real quick and cash out. Yeah. Speaking of, later on today, not speaking of, but I just see on my thing there's a Convex is doing Dev Day,
Okay.
and not I don't even know if it's worth going, but just they will be announcing new features,
Oh,
so something
that's
to keep
cool.
your eye on. It. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still like on the fence. I know that you've done the right thing. Next.js Base. That is the correct stack for AI. But I really like Convex. But developing with with it for AI can be just slightly cumbersome.
Uh-huh.
So trying to I'm trying to figure that out. Like AI is really good with it because it's type safe and it's so in it has no issues and like the linter kind of self repairs itself so you never have any problems. But like it's like it runs on the cloud, the server. Like all the logic runs in the cloud. So then every time you change something in your code,
Mm-hmm.
it like updates live in
Okay.
and then and then like they have to work in the Convex server. And if once that works, then you can continue. But like
So there is no local database.
they have it, they're open source, but it's like a separate thing. It's kind of like what you're saying, like you have to have like a container and like with Supabase, and it's not smooth yet as like maybe doing it with Supabase. So I think they're getting there, but um, so that's the part where I'm like, oh, maybe that would be the solution to like have the open source version on your laptop so it's local.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. But right now it's like, oh, there's like this weird thing where you have like only one environment. It's the dev environment. If you do a preview branch, that could work, but then you lose all the data. Not like that doesn't the data isn't copied. So then okay, then you have to have like a seed function that seeds the database every time you create a new. So like if I were to create a new work tree, I'd probably have to make a new preview environment. So I'm just like on the fence. But the like instant reactivity of the app is so cool. So like everything is just like bubble. It's like
Does it mean that you have like two version of the database, like what the one that you always preview on the cloud, and then another version that will be production?
yes.
Okay. And so you're saying every time you just change your code, it updates it?
It updates it. Yeah, so like there's the functions that you use to like update data like um exist in I mean they're in your code, but that code is then like transpiled into their code. So you write TypeScript, you don't really write SQL, you
Yeah,
write
yeah.
TypeScript, right?
This is
And yeah.
this is the same with Drizzle, right? Where you only TypeScript.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, similar. Yeah. And then and so then those functions then get like checked on like they get your new code, they check it with type
Right.
safety.
But when you say it's they get the new code, you have to commit it, right? For it to.
Well, you don't have to commit it. You can just sort of save it. You can just sort of like you run dev and then that syncs it. So if
Oh,
you're running dev, it'll like it's just watching for changes and then it'll automatically.
that's actually pretty nice. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's not a like. I think in general, it's a great tool. It's like Bubble, just without the front end, and
Yeah.
like literally like Bubble, just without the front end, which is really great. But yeah, I just for me, I'm just kind of like I get a little like some of my workflows get a little complex, and I'm not so sure. I get caught building with AI with it, So I'm like, well. Anyway, I want to see
Yeah.
what they announce today. Maybe they'll announce something that'll make it easier. So
Oh, okay. You'll keep us posted then.
sure, yeah,
Yeah. I think for me it's a bit like a bit cumbersome where I I make changes to the schema and then I need to generate a migration and then I need to apply the migration to prod and I still haven't set things up so that um, when I make a PR and it's approved, like the changes to the schema are also applied to prod. I haven't done that so that it's automatic. Right now, I would make the changes locally, and then I have another script that make the same changes to prod. But so it's going to update the database, but maybe the code that has been changed is not, it's not at the same time. So I don't think it's ideal.
yeah,
Um, I mean, it works, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you mess up the database, even in Convex, like you need to change the rows, the header, the name of the row, or the data, like you change it from a number to an integer, like a text string to an integer, like you have to do the migration, like the data migration, right? Like that, like okay, transform all these rows into numbers, copy them into the new row, delete the old row. That's like some sort of there's that they yeah. I don't know why it's the same word, but like that's a data migration versus
Yeah.
like a
Oh yeah.
structural migration, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of something that's not super clear for me, like the migrations, like because what I understood in the first place was like you need to create migration to, like you said, structure the tables and say I have these columns and this column and these are the types and this is how the columns are. I mean, the tables are linked in the database,
Yeah.
but then it's also called the migration if you want to, I don't know, delete all of the people that are from this team or something like that.
Yeah. I think because those migration files are SQL and like right, it says like drop table, alter table when you want to like
Yeah.
change the schema, and then in that same file you can say like okay, query, get all and then delete them. So it's like it's probably because you can do both in a migration. But for us,
Yeah.
I mean, from a non-technical perspective, I thought like I only learned the migrations were for changing the schema. I never understood it. And then oftentimes AI will just like create a separate function. It won't put it in the migration table. It'll
Mm.
like just like, oh, let me migrate your data for you. And like, okay, great. So that's the
Yeah,
problem
because
with
I guess when it comes to updating the data, it can also just be a script or something that you do through,
yeah,
like in Bubble, you would do like a bulk thing, like,
yeah,
yeah.
right, exactly. So yeah, migration is I guess when you're using like a SQL file to alter the database,
Yeah.
and you could also write a script separately to alter data if you wanted to. But you could do that all in one file. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the best practice is, but for me, like changing the structure and changing the data, I think it's two completely different things. But
yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's like the scenario like if you if you had to like wipe your
oh
database, right? And start from all the migrations from the beginning, then
yeah,
you would want to have record of like when do I run this data migration. So like I think it's best practice to put it all in a SQL file.
but maybe it's also because when let's say you want to delete a table, you may need to delete the records before you can do so. Yeah,
Right. Yep. Yeah. So there are some. It depends on how your data is thing. I mean, at the end of the day, you can always like run. I guess I resorted to like just like what's called introspect it, and just like so wherever it is now, just create a new one. This is the current state, and pretend that this is where we're starting from. You know, I don't really care how we got here.
Yeah.
So, and then that's it. So, but that stuff is still very complicated, and it all kind of happens behind the scenes, especially with Drizzle and stuff like that. So,
Mm,
yeah.
nice.
Hi, boss.
Should we call it a day?
Yeah, I think so.
I think one thing that could be nice is that if we take the transcript of this call and make like a post about it to promote like the fact that we're going to do that next time.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, if you can share it with me, maybe I can do it, or I don't know if
Okay.
you want to give it a try.
Yeah.
But that could be
Let me see here.
that would be useful.
Just
Ah,
gonna, I'm gonna test out some features real quick. Teleprompter. Oh, okay, no, that's not what I want. Script.
maybe I can add it to the.
Okay. All right.
Mm,
I don't know if we get a transcript. Hopefully we do.
I guess I mean if you have a recording, you can always
Oh,
get
yeah.
it from it, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can put it on watch link.
Okay, cool.
All right, man.
That was nice. Have a nice week, Facundo.
You